I'm Jerry Milroy, and this is Carmen and Alex. In August of 2007, they were on their way home from dinner with their parents when their life was suddenly changed. A drunk driver hit them head on. The girls had to watch for 4 hours while their lifeless mom and dad was cut by paramedics and the firefighters out of their vehicle. But they're not the only ones that will be affected from this tragedy. The young man that was driving the other vehicle will have to spend 30 years of his life in a Mississippi State prison, and his 3 boys will grow up without a father. Drunk drivers don't only affect themselves, but they affect everybody that they pass on the highways. The National Highway Safety Administration put up a few stats. Someone is killed by a drunk driver every 45 minutes. 3 out of 10 Americans will be hit by a drunk driver in their life. So if you haven't been hit by a drunk driver yet, there's a good chance that you will meet a drunk driver, and hopefully it's not head on. And if you're lucky and you don't get hit by a drunk driver, it won't take long, to look around, and I'm sure everybody can find somebody whose life has been affected by a drunk driver. And just with these stats, over 1.46 million drivers a year are arrested for DUIs. That's a lot of drivers, folks. And 75% of the drunk drivers who have their license suspended continue to drive. Doesn't matter to them. But there's good news. From the DUIDrivinglaws.org, the Arkansas fines and penalties have increased in the last few years. The first-time offender will face some jail time, some fines, have to go through a treatment program, and they could have to have a ignition interlock system put in their car, or they'll have to blow into a device to start their vehicle. And I think that's a real good idea, and that probably has saved a lot of lives. And the penalties and fines, they worsen with each offense all the way up until your 4th one, and then it's considered a felony, and you could face up to a possible of 6 years in prison. And that's just for getting pulled over with the DUI. If you wreck and you hit somebody and you accident and kill somebody, you're looking at a manslaughter charge, and you could be spending a lot of time in prison. So, is it worth that drink? Worth, having a few drinks and driving home? If you're asking me, I'm going to tell you no. But that's just me. So, we can all do our part. If you're going to be responsible enough to drink, then be responsible enough to get a safe ride home. Have a designated driver. Set one of your buddies aside, and each time y'all take turns and that person doesn't drink, and y'all get home safe. And if that's not an option, then take a cab. $5 or $6 cab fees, a lot better than a DWI, or having to live with your conscience that you're the reason why somebody's not here anymore. And if we all do these things and drink responsibly, we can save ourselves, and we can prevent another accident like Carmen and Alex